Alright folks, welcome to Quest Group News Radio. I'm your host, Mr. D Quest. Now before we break some news, make sure you hit that like button, share button, subscribe button, folks. We really appreciate that. Now we ain't gonna hold you up, people, so let's get into this topic real quick, alright? Here we go. A 19-year-old Hagerstown woman was arrested and accused of armed robbery at a halfway motel. Now let me say that again real quick for those of y'all that didn't understand me, folks. Start raising your daughters, people. That was the bottom line. That's it right there. Start raising your daughters. Because you got a 19-year-old Hagerstown woman arrested for being accused of armed robbery. Come on, 19 years old? Getting arrested? Being accused of armed robbery? At a halfway motel? Yeah, so definitely, people, start raising your daughters. That's the bottom line on that. Alright, now here we go. News articles are reporting that Courtney Ruppenthal, 19, is charged with 2 counts each of armed robbery, conspiracy to commit armed robbery, and 22 other crimes. According to police, Ruppenthal met Joshua Schuler, 27, and Jonathan DeGrella, 24, in a rented room at the motel shortly before 1 a.m. Tuesday. Now, Schuler told deputies that he and DeGrella knew Ruppenthal and everything seemed normal. At one point, Ruppenthal cracked the door and started texting on a phone. He said soon the front door flew open at about 1:50 a.m. and 2 men came in. One was carrying an M16 style assault rifle, folks. Now Schuler said one of the intruders punched him in his face, and then the other forced the gorilla against the wall and pressed the barrel of the rifle into his chest. The man with the rifle ordered Schuler and the gorilla to take off their clothes before forcing them into the bathroom. The robbers collected the clothes then and left the room. Documents showed the stolen items included cash and cell phones valued at a little more than $2,000. Investigators eventually viewed the motel security camera footage and said it shows Ruppenthal and 2 other male suspects together before and after the robbery. More charges are pending, folks. Okay, now that's the basic story, folks. Okay, but did you peep how it said in the beginning that she's also being charged with 22 other crimes? So this person's about it, man. I mean, she out there, and this is a 19-year-old, folks. What was you doing at 19, folks? What was you doing 3 years ago at 16, folks? And she's armed robbery with 22 other crimes? Oh, man. We got to definitely raise our kids, but alright, that was the basic story. Now let's go to the questions, comments, and case discussion on this real quick, because I don't want to hold y'all up too long for the day. So here we go. Alright, hi Quest. So were the 2 guys there to have sex with the one girl? Now to tell you the truth, I'm not sure about that. Now they said they know her, but I'm like, come on now, what's 2 dudes and a chick doing at a halfway motel? Now that's a little bit strange to me, people. That's a little bit strange now, because if it was just one guy and one girl, or 2 guys and 2 girls, then that's understandable. But if those 2 guys was there to have sex with that one girl, then they should be ashamed of themselves, people, because we don't rock like that. Have some respect for these women. Not saying that that was the case, but have some respect, man. You know what I mean? 2 guys, yeah, let's tag team this girl, pay her a couple of dollars and stuff, and that way we can have our fun. First of all, you know how many diseases is out there? Not only the diseases that one dude to catch, but then also the other girl. The girl may have a disease as well. So you're putting yourself in a position where 2 people, not one but 2 people, can immediately pass you a disease right then and there. You know what I mean? So I never really understood that. Yeah, let's run a train on a yada yada yada. That's whack, man. And if I ever heard that happen to my daughter or my son's out there doing that to some chicks, I'ma be heated. Alright? Now, that's another thing. Now, I'm not sure they was there to have sex. They could have been there just kicking. Or some people, let's say they got their tax money, right? They ran into a little money. Let's say they scored a little weed, right? Maybe they had an ounce of weed on them. You know, hey, you know, bring homegirl to the hotel because they knew her. You know, so some people are just cool like that, folks. You know what I mean? Some people got both male and female friends. You know, so maybe he was like, yeah, I just ran into Wooty Whoop. Hey, come to the hotel. We got a little weed smoking with us. So, all right, cool. You know what I mean? And maybe she went over there like that. But maybe she's a little bit grown up now. Maybe she ain't the person they thought she used to be. and she hang around with a rough crowd now. So I really don't know how that situation went down. You know what I mean? But most likely, in my mind, it was one of those situations where either they had drugs on them and she was there to party, or she was there because they wanted to party with her. You know what I mean? Or something. So, pardon me, folks, or something. So that's what that is. All right, next hot quest. Those halfway motels are seedy. No doubt, folks. Those halfway motels, stay away from them. I really wouldn't let my dog stay in one of them, to tell you the truth, man. I wouldn't want my dog to stay in one of them. You see the TV show Cops, okay, or the First 48? How many of y'all watch the TV show Cops, the First 48, and they near the trucker stop near those halfway motels, near the highway, those seedy joints, okay, where people could have a little extended stay, some rent for the day, some rent for a couple of hours, some rent for the week, some rent for the month. Some are there because the government, it's like temporary housing until they get their Section 8 come through, for certain single mothers with kids. So in some of those CD motels, it's just basically, just call it what it is, back page motel. Okay? How you going to ban back page for allowing solicitation, but you letting these motels stand, man? Okay? Now, I've never been to this motel before, but I've seen a couple of CD motels, and I've been around a couple of CD motels, and I just don't trust them, folks. I really don't trust them at all. You know what I mean? So, yeah, definitely, that's definitely a CD motel right there, and you could kind of expect those in that kind of motel. So I'm surprised they ain't had a whammy on them. You invite a homegirl to the motel at that time of night, they should have had the whammy on them. And for those that don't know the whammy, the gun, they should have some type of protection on them. All right, next, why did the guys have 2K on them at night? You know what? That's a good question. 2 a.m. we at a CD hotel. You got 2K on you, you got 2K on you, folks. That's a good question right there. Was these guys selling drugs? Did they just get their income tax checked? You know what? I'm not really sure. You know what I mean? But yeah, they could be up to something, or they was out there celebrating something. There was this one case. Dude had $75,000 from a settlement, and this was in the Bronx about a year ago. Dude had $75,000 from a settlement, right? He met up with like 3 chicks, 4 chicks. He went to the hotel to party, or motel in the Bronx. You know it was seedy. He went to the motel to party. They wound up texting the dudes. The dudes came through. They took all his settlement money. Dude didn't even go home after cashing the settlement check. He had his whole settlement check on him, folks. I know his stomach was upset for a year and change. I know it's still probably upset because we barely see $75,000 cash at one time in a lifetime. So imagine losing all that. Anyway, yeah, that was a lot of money for them dudes to have. 2K is a lot, but that was between the two of them. So, maybe they just cashed their checks or whatever. But I like to keep my money on PayPal, folks. I got my PayPal card in my pocket, my credit card. So if I need something, or if my family needs something, you need some money, boom, they got PayPal. So I just send money to a friend. You know what I mean? Simple as that. Send money to a friend. Need $20, $30. You out there, you stranded on the side of the road, but you need the money now. Okay, here go $30, $40, $50 off the card. Ain't no more of that cash. If it's cash, then it's usually something I'm getting from the corner bodega, from the corner store, and that's about that. All right, next. They sold 10 years of freedom for $700 each. Shaking my head. Nah, no doubt, fam. It was 3 of them, right? They had $2,000 worth of possession. So I'm not saying it was $2,000 cash, but they said that the total lick, police said that the total lick equaled up to about $2,000. And that's phones and everything. So I don't know if it was the value of the phones or what, but let's say it was $2,000, $2,100. Let's call it cash, right? Let's just call it cash. That's only $700 a piece. Now remember, 22 other charges was pending, and I think that was on the girl. But you know how it is, folks. They like to just throw them big numbers up. But anyway, those 3 people doing at least 5 years, man. At least 5 to 10 years in jail for this type of strong arm robbery. All right, so was that $700 worth it? And the way sometimes these stories go, these people don't even get a chance to spend the money, man. They don't even get a chance to spend it half of the time. So, yeah, you can do all that for $700 if you want. Me, I'd rather work a week or 2 at McDonald's and get my $700 and be cool, man. I'm not out there to stick nobody up, you know, and at the end of the day, it was $700. Now, the last story, we covered 3 people went in on a robbery and they wound up getting $150. And that was $50 a piece. So I'm sure this probably looks a little bit more tempting, but $700, come on, man. I wouldn't let nobody get robbed for $700. I wouldn't let nobody go to jail for robbing somebody for $700. Alright, next. Who needs an M16 assault rifle just to rob somebody? Definitely, man. Okay, you come in with an M16 assault style rifle, you there for business, man. You know what I mean? You could have just came in with the handgun, but you toted this big old gun through the door. You know what I mean? So you know it was a seedy motel. Because what motel you stay at with Duke could come through with the big old M16? Nobody's not even the wiser, right? You know what I mean? So this dude came there for the business. I'm not going to lie. And they talking about taking guns off the street. And that's cool, but make sure you take them out of the criminal's hands first. Because this dude with this M16, he was ready to lay somebody down. And I hope they recovered that gun. And I hope one of his friends or one of his gang members don't have that gun now. I hope that gun was recovered because that's a serious weapon. You know what I mean? Now maybe the gun don't work and maybe it's just for flash purposes. Because that's definitely a good flash gun, man. You show that, people going to give you anything you want. So, you know, but hopefully, yeah, get that gun off the street for sure, for sure. Okay, last question. Hot question. I'm glad nobody was killed. Nah, no doubt, fam. I'm glad nobody was killed either. Now, even though I hate what the suspects did, kudos to the suspects for letting the dude live, man. I know y'all like Quest, you bugging. Nah, too many shows, too many episodes in the news where people are getting killed after this. After the suspects already got the money. Dude, you got the money. You got the $2 grand. They did right. Tell them to strip naked, sending them to the bathroom, put something in front of the bathroom so they can't easily get out. Take their clothes with you. That way they got a scrounge. That way they not busting shots back at you and you not forced to bust shots back at them. Now, I'm not saying that, folks, because I don't want no dumb idiot listening to the show to say, you know what? Quest thinks it was honorable, so let me go out there, and as long as I don't kill nobody, I'm going to just make them strip naked with the M16 pointed at them. No, that's what I'm not saying. I'm just glad nobody was killed during this commission of this robbery. And that's all, because the comprehension of some of these people nowadays, you know, I don't want to get the situation confused because, you know, reading comprehension, listening to comprehension ain't like what it used to be. So, yeah, we're just ending off with that. I'm glad nobody was killed either. But definitely, that's our show for the day, people. So please make sure you hit that like button, share button, subscribe button. We got plenty more videos out there. We got more to come on a daily basis. Now, last message. If you out there robbing people, folks, please just get a job, man. It's not worth it, dude. If you spend 2 years in jail, no, let's say you spend 5 years in jail, at $20,000 a year that you could be making at McDonald's, that's $100,000, man. So instead of going to doing 5 years in jail, work at McDonald's or whatever for 5 years, doing 40 hours a week for 5 years, and don't spend nothing. And then in 5 years, on the day you were supposed to get out of jail, then go to the bank, look at that $100,000, and say success. But that's all for today's show, folks. I'm going to get up out of here. I want y'all to stay safe. 1.